Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Traders Summit, and I am with Mr. Richard Mathews of GC Partners. Dick, it's been a few weeks, and it's good to see you. We're gonna continue on with the Tales of the Trading Desk episodes, but great to see you, sir.
And good to see you. Looking very well, and obviously a little bit warmer than we are over here in the UK.
We are, but we are actually cool enough where I could wear a collared shirt comfortably, which is it only happens a few months out of the year, so it's nice. We were talking over the last couple of weeks, kind of preparing for to wrap up going into 2021 at the end of 2021 and what we were going to do. And some of the things that we want to talk about today is really how you wrapped up your career. I mean, your career it's such as we spent the last several months just talking about all the great stories and parties and lifestyle and interactions that you've had with different brokers, different traders. It's been really fun to be a part of this. But can you tell us like how it kind of wrapped up the end of that part of your career and where it took you to today and where you're at now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, hopefully my career isn't over yet. It's still ongoing.
Yes. I am sorry. I meant to say that part of your career, which was so fun and exciting to hear about.
Yeah. I got to an age, and I'll be honest, I got to 40 years of age, and I'd always had in my mind I'll call it a day when I was 40. And I was working with Refco, and I wasn't enjoying it in the end. When a business is your own business and you answer to yourself or to one partner or two partners, that's fun. But all of a sudden I was back working with someone else, answering to people in Chicago. Much as I love Chicago, these guys never knew what the time was in London. They always thought we were on Chicago time, and you just get called in the middle of the night and chewed out and whatever. And Tony Grant and Phil Bennett and Tom Dittmer are certainly characters. Tony Grant, who's sadly no longer with us. And I just thought, hey, I've had a good run at this. I don't enjoy this anymore. Computer trading was just in its infancy, just starting to come in. This is 95, just starting to see the first parts of computer trading. And I'm not saying that I saw the future, but more and more people are talking it's going to go back on the computers. You're going to have to go back into an office. And I just, I'd had enough. So I came to a really nice agreement with the guys, but part of that agreement was that I had to leave the UK. That I couldn't work in London anymore. I couldn't work in Chicago, New York. Basically, I was cut out of the markets for 2 years. So I thought, hey, let's go off and enjoy myself. So I did. Not that I hadn't enjoyed myself before. I did.
Wait, is this the part where you went to California and went up and down the coast? Is this part of that?
Yeah, I went up and down the coast in California in the wrong car. I wanted to do it in a Mustang, but unfortunately I didn't get a Mustang. I got a Dodge Viper. Beautiful car, but not a great car at all because it's got no boot or hood, as you would say. So that sort of limited things a little bit.
Where did you did you strap the luggage to the back on top of the back panel back there?
No, we just reduced our luggage. We were staying in the Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles, the most beautiful hotel.
Yes.
I got there and I really got put in my place because I said to the bellboy, "This is the most gorgeous room I think I've ever stayed in." He said, "Yes, sir. It's Elizabeth Taylor's old luggage room."
Wow. You're like the luggage room? That's where I'm staying right now?
Yeah. That's what I like looking around. It's a very beautiful suite. Anyway, so we trimmed our luggage right down just like a rucksack. Because we went just down to La Jolla and San Diego. Yeah. So we didn't have very much luggage. So that was great fun. Then I went dog sledding up in Alaska, which was wild. Went up to Fairbanks and up to Denali or Mount McKinley. I don't know. I guess you call it Denali now, not Mount McKinley. Went dog sledding up around there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've only passed through Alaska on my way to Africa, so I've never spent any time there, so I'm not 100% sure.
It's a wild place, really wild place. Lots of Russian influence. Got Russian churches there.
Wow, that's interesting.
I guess you could be able to walk across the Bering Straits. Or is it the Bering Straits? Went up to the North Pole. Did a radio show there with Jesus North Pole Radio, which is just like, got the T-shirt somewhere. You know, they've got some limey here. Just,
why not?
You know, why not? Sailed the Atlantic and did all sorts of things, which was great fun. And I ended up in southern Spain, in what a beautiful house down there. And I thought, well, I've got to do something. You know, I after 9 months or something, I'm getting itchy. I'm missing the markets. I want to do something. And by then, amazingly, internet trading had advanced so much. People were already trading on the internet, and day traders were starting to come up. So in that short period of time, 9 months to a year, the markets, the floor had started shutting, and it had switched into internet trading. But that's probably a little bit late. It's probably 988 by then. And I decided to open a day trading room down there, called Trading in the Sun, which abbreviated to TITS, which is an aptly named business. I've got a few guys down from
Of course
London.
you did. Of course
Yeah.
you did. Of course
Yeah.
you did.
I got a few guys down from London, and we just had a whale of a time. And, you know, hands up, it was ahead of the game. It was too early. The internet, I guess it's not much better now in England, but the internet signals weren't stable and the speeds weren't quick enough to trade, and you just miss it. Compensated for having a great lifestyle and great fun down there. But unfortunately, you know, it didn't work because of the speed of the internet. Really annoying. And the second reason, if I'd been 20 miles down the coast, there's a place called Gibraltar, which was a tax haven. So I should have gone there.
That makes sense.
You know, that was great fun and a great learning experience of day trading arcades. I don't know if you call them arcades over there. Yeah. The upsides and the downsides. The upsides are you have a lot of fun, but the downsides are that you end up being a landlord to a load of kids. You know,
isn't that true? It's very true, right?
And you probably, your biggest risk is them not paying or blowing out, not paying for your desk rental, which is your profit.
Right. Wow. You know, I was a partner at a day trading shop for several years. I understand exactly how that works. So yeah.
You know, but then I was down there, and Marbella is a really lovely place, and Porto Banús, it's a sort of like, I don't know, it's not really like La Jolla, but it's a lovely sunny climate and great fun and really interesting people down there. And a lot of the old traders would come down and play golf down there, and they'd call by and have a spend a day trading and having fun and lunching and reminiscing of the old days. So from that point of view, I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. From a financial point of view, it wasn't the greatest experience of my life, but hey, you know, we had fun and learned a lot.
And the markets really changed dramatically, you know, going from, from floor trading to electronic trading. Things just got so fast, and technology has really accelerated and, you know, really flattened the world globally. I mean, from everything from probably as you could recall in your earlier years when you travel pre-internet, you were probably a bit of a I want to say, I say almost a rock star wherever you went, because, you know, oh, you're British, you're from the UK, and you're here in, you know, whether it's California or whether you're in, you know, Spain or wherever you're at, you know, the internet has really kind of flattened that. Cause so when I see, I'm like, oh, hey, you're from UK. Cool. But, you know, 30, 40 years ago, if you were from somewhere else, you were really cool, right? Because it was not everybody could jump on the internet and Google search and watch YouTube videos from people all over the world or whatever. Yeah.
So with that being rude, though, it's opened up a whole world of new traders to come in, and you know, with that being rude, people like yourselves who probably wouldn't necessarily have known about the markets because they wouldn't have been involved in the markets. So how did you start getting involved in it? You were a soldier and you know, a good upright guy with a good proper career.
Well, you know, so the funny thing is when I got out of the military, I was 22 years old and I was an infantryman. So there's not a lot of skill in being an infantryman. You know, just kill or be killed. You know, here's a knife, here's a K-bar, here's a rifle. This is how you use it. Obviously, we got fire squads and teams, and you know, you learn, you know, tactics and whatnot. But you know, you get out of that, and what do you do? Well, most guys that did what I did. They become police officers. They eventually work for government agencies like CIA, FBI, eventually police officers. Some are firefighters, and that's just kind of what you do because you didn't have a huge skill set. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go to school, go to college, get my degree, and then we'll go from there. And my father had set me up with a police force interview for the city of Tempe, Arizona, where I live, because he worked for the city. And he's like, oh, I got you a job. So I went and took the written exam, and then I was just about ready to do the physical exam because I'm like, this is a shoo-in, because I was obviously in very good shape at the age of 24. And my best friend was a broker for a small firm out of Florida that had offices in a few different places. They just followed people like what's his name? You would know him when you saw him on CNBC. He talks like this. His name, he's a big money manager. Oh my God, portfolio manager. The name it'll blurt out like halfway through this conversation. Anyway, he was making so much money as a broker. He's like, hey, you should be a broker because you can, all you have to really do is sell. And I didn't know anything about the markets, but I was, in college, and he was making big money for a 24-year-old kid. And so anyway, I went and got my Series 7, and then I jumped into the brokerage industry. But we actually started trading in 1996 because I read in Forbes magazine, on the front cover were Chris Burke and Jeff Block of a company called Block Trading. And it said on the front cover of Forbes, the day trading bandits, I think is what it said. The day trading bandits, or the SOS bandits of Wall Street, or something like that. I forget what the cover story was. And I was so intrigued that I took that. My friend and I took that to an investor, a guy that we knew that was a few years older than us, but made a lot of money in insurance. And we got him to invest money into us to be a trader, because my friend had learned how to trade from taking a company public, and had the desk trader taught him how to, work, the ladders on, your level 2, and you could see, the bid and ask, and all the orders below that, and kind of how everything worked. And so that's really how it was all electronic day trading. So when I first went to that same firm, Block Trading, I went to they had offices their main office was in Houston. They had an office in Scottsdale, Arizona, where I lived. And then they had a couple other offices, and we went to the Scottsdale one. And I started trading in end of 96. And that was really when they were actually bridging the gap right at that moment in time from call out. So you could say, buy me 2,000 shares or 5,000 shares of Microsoft, to electronic trading. They were just literally making that jump as I joined that firm and started trading there. But you're right. That's where, people like myself, I would have never been interested in the markets, living where I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, or Scottsdale, Arizona. I would never have cared one bit about the markets if that didn't happen. The electronic markets. I wasn't in a city center. I wasn't in London, like where you're from. I wasn't in New York or in New Jersey, in one of those surrounding areas, or in Chicago or Tokyo. So, if you're not in one of those 4, 5, we could say 4 or 5, because there's probably a few other ones out there. Like if you're dealing with,
better say Paris to keep the Europeans happy.
Yeah. You could say Paris or Paris or what's the other Frankfurt. Yeah, you could definitely do Frankfurt. But anyway, if you're one of those financial centers, you might have gotten the bug. But because of electronic trading, it really opened the door up for so many people now globally. And it's interesting when, here I am 25 years later, and I'm talking to friends of mine, and I'm at a holiday party talking to some dude, let's just say a dude that's works in the alcohol and beverage industry as a sales representative on the other side of town, who's day trading Apple, at lunch, or on his, when he's supposed to be on a Zoom call. That's crazy, right? That's not I mean, it happens though. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I get in with random people, and I live in an area where being in the markets is kind of like a, it's a novelty because there's not too many of us that live in my area that do this full time. So when I'm talking to people, it's weird just to hear how many people actually dabble in the markets and have the ability to do it right from their phone, and they can do it from there or a laptop. It's just wild. I'm sure it's been wild for you to watch.
It is. It's really funny enough. I've always thought that it took off quicker in the States because when I was at Refco, you could see they had offices all over America because of the commodities trading background. That everyone who grew wheat knew about Chicago or cattle or whatever.
Sure.
Or orange juice. You understood Chicago, you understood futures. So trading from futures into financial futures is a pretty quick jump. And I always thought that the potential client base was there through the little offices. But to me, I just find it really, I have to be careful when I say scary now, what's going on. Yeah. Certainly in the crypto markets, and I love the crypto markets. I think they're here to stay, whether it's in the status they are now, whether it's stable coins or whatever. And when the central banks come involved in it, that will change, digital currencies. But, like I swim every day in the ocean, or the ocean sounds playground, in the English Channel, which certainly ain't any ocean. It's 8 degrees centigrade, so it's not an ocean.
Wait, so you're telling me you do that every day?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't, if I can barely dip my toe in the water in the pool outside. That's nuts. Wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
That's pretty cool. But like one of the people I swim with, and she's telling me how easy it is to trade. And, I trade Bitcoin every day and it's so easy and it's so easy. And then like last weekend, not a word, didn't hear from her because the market's collapsed. And you just think these people think this is really easy. Now, markets are really easy. If you're a punter and you just buy and the market just goes up, what's going to happen when they really turn?
And that's, I was just having a conversation. If I was just having a conversation with Jim Welsh, who's longtime veteran in the markets, portfolio manager, and he said he said this: don't confuse brains with the bull market. And that's I mean, Dick, you've seen it all, and I mean, I've seen a couple of market meltdowns in my life, not to include like the fat finger ones, with the financial crisis, with the .com bubble, the meltdown. You were around for the crash and the ERM, and so you've seen a handful of generational wipeout type of events. And I hate to speculate about this, but cryptos do remind me a lot of the .com speculation. So,
old phrase. Well, we all used to say that if it's headlines in the newspaper, you've missed the market. And it still is. If it's on the TV and they're saying, "Oh, the Bank of England's going to do that," they've already made up their mind. They've already done it, and you've missed it. Yeah. And I think in America they say if your shoe shine boy's talking about equities, it's time to get out the market. And that's how I feel now. And these people won't listen. You just don't play these games because you'll get wiped out. Have a little punt. Don't get greedy though. Just have a bit of fun. What you're doing is no different to me having a bet on a horse race. Yeah. Because the outcome is just as likely. There's no fundamental reason to drive Bitcoin that I can see.
It's interesting. I was talking to one of the guys that I do interviews with all the time, who I'm a huge fan of and have been for 20 years. Mark Chandler, you see him on CNBC, has written a lot of books. Mark's a sharp guy. He was with Brown Brothers for so many years, and now he's with Bannockburn Global Forex. Anyway, he was talking to me about, or talking to us. He did an interview, and he mentioned in his interview about, one of the major firms selling their, portfolio manager business after, 40 years of really just riding high. And he's like, these are not your guys that are just like, trading. This is a guy, this is a firm that's selling this part of the business because they feel that that this era of the last 40 years is over. And he's like, they're the smartest guys in the room type of group. And I'm like, that's scary. When you're mentioning things like that, it's like, that's frightful.
Right. I find it scary. And having been in a very highly regulated market and having been fined for jumping an order, I know what it's like. And I know the temptations are there. But I would never trade with someone who's selling my orders, like Robin Hood does. I probably shouldn't say that, but what's going on? They're selling my order and letting someone front run me and getting paid for that. Who's the mug here?
But I know, but the thought process is, oh, I get to trade for free. Do you really though? Yeah. Do you? Are you sure about that? Yeah. But it's wild. It's wild, Dick. And it's like the Wild West at sometimes. And I look around and I'm like, I kind of have to slap myself and say, is this real? But then again, you have, as a trader, you have to trade what's given to you. I could sit here and complain and bitch and moan about the markets and say, volatility is low and blah, 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 blah. But, the fact of the matter is we have to deal with what is the market. Either that or you just, hey, go find another business to be in.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is. And that there's no truer saying than that in the markets. But I think coming from somebody like yourself, and even me, like I said, I've been in the markets for 25 years and I've navigated through a lot of crap in my 25 years. I could say with a, straight face, there's some scary stuff that we're dealing with right now. And I'm sure this is the time where you have to be more cautious than anything.
I think I just like to be a broker and have some of the politicians in America trading through me, because I think there's been some really dubious things going on there, and I will leave it at that because I don't want to get a lawsuit from anyone.
Yeah, well, we'll keep it from. But Dick, I want to say that it's been really fun over the last several months doing these Tales from the trading desk interviews. Now I want to set people up for next week. Next week we're going to have a fun one because whether you celebrate Christmas, you celebrate Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you celebrate, it is the holidays. We are coming up to holiday season. I'm going to have to throw on a Santa cap because I believe in Santa still.
Good. Me too. I might even get some Christmas lights on behind me.
That would be awesome. And so next week we're going to talk about not only about the holiday parties you've been to and witnessed, but maybe some of the markets that you've traded through the holiday season, because there is a seasonality behind Christmas, right? Or the holidays, let's call it. Yeah. There is a seasonal aspect of the markets, and I'm sure that you have a lot of wisdom that you can share with us as the trading community. So
cool. And we sure got a busy week next week with central bank meetings and Bank of England and the Fed and everything coming up, haven't we?
It'll be you know what? It's going to be a nice cherry on top to a very volatile week next week. So I look forward to spending my Friday afternoon / evening with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Dick, thank you again for joining us here at Traders Summit. Remember, guys and gals, you're listening to Dick Mathews here. Make sure you give him a thumbs up on this YouTube channel or on the YouTube video. It's a thumbs up for him. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content that we do together. Dick, thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic. Have a good one. Cheers, Blake.
Cheers. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey traders, Blake Morrow here. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also click the bell notifications so you do not miss any of our market-related trading analysis from some of the leading industry experts. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video.